Very nice to meet you here, and thank you for accepting our invitation. So, as we have talked to each other before, we as Vietnamese student, also as international student, we have to do an English placement test before we go into the college. But some of us doesn't really know or understand about the placement test or know how to work on it, what we need to expect for the test. So we're hoping that with our interview with you today, it will help answer some of the questions of our students and help them to prepare for the test. So let's first start with you. Can you give a short introduction about yourself?
Okay, my name is Goldie Olszynko. I've been teaching at LaSalle College for 24 years and still enjoying it. It's great. The students are usually so fine and good and determined and pleasant. And Do-An was one of my students. I had him twice.
Twice.
And he worked very hard in the class, and there he is, passing all the courses. Yeah.
So next, can you tell us some basic information about the English placement test?
Okay. Yes, I've been doing that for a very long time also. But what I wanted to ask you first is, do you need to know who needs to take the test or not? Because some people are exempt from it.
Yes, we
Is
would
that
love to. Yes.
That's information you need?
Yes.
Okay. If you have successfully completed an English literature course at another college or university. Okay. Let's see, if you have earned a mark of 70% or higher in the Quebec secondary 5 level exam, because some students come here as an exchange students and they go to high school, so they end up taking the English exam, the graduating exam, right? Okay, now if you have taken TOEFL, TOEFL is a test of English as a foreign language, and if you have earned a score of 124 in the written part of the test.
It's only counted for TOEFL, but not IELTS.
Yes, I have the IELTS information also. Okay, in IELTS, if you have 8 and 8 in the written part of IELTS. Okay. Another exemption is for those who have completed university studies in English. And that's the rest applies to French. Okay, that's it. So you would like to know about the placement test?
Yes.
All right. Number one, the purpose of the placement test is to assess the level that the student is in. So as you can see on the board, there are many different pathways. And I would like your friends, your students to understand that it's not a question of I passed or I failed. We really have to place students in the level in which they have the best chances of doing well and passing. Of course, some students are disappointed when they end up in a very low level. They become disappointed. However, experience has shown that if they are placed in the wrong level, they end up repeating. You know, they always worry, well, my visa, I'm only here for a certain number of years, it's going to delay me. But believe me, they are more delayed if they have to repeat each course. Some students repeat courses 3 times every course. So it's very important that a student is placed in the right level. Okay, so it's not, we give a little speech at the beginning of the placement test to give students all this information about it. Okay? Now, basically the test is an essay of between 400 and 500 words on a choice of 2 or 3 topics. The topics are usually, we give you topics in which you can express an opinion, and then you develop the opinion with reasons. Okay, you have to support your opinion with reasons. Usually, perhaps there's a statement, and then you have to say why or why not. Do you agree with the statement? Why or why not? and provide reasons for it and examples. Okay? Now what are we looking for? We're not looking for the best organized essay or the most brilliant ideas, even though that's good. We're really looking for language level. That means syntax. Syntax is how English words are put together in the English language structure, because many international students, they will use the structure of their own language. So it's not standard English, and we scratch our heads, what does this mean, right? Okay, we look for sentence structure, we look for syntax, we look for level of vocabulary, grammar, of course, grammar. All that determines where we place a student. Would you like me to explain that now or keep talking about the placement test?
Yeah, it is depend on your
Yeah.
style.
Okay, all right. I'll continue about the placement test and then we can look at that, okay? Let's see, what are the options? If they're not, yeah, well, the next question is if they're not able to get into their main program, what are the options? Okay, so we can look at the pathways over here. Now, there are 3 different pathways to get into LaSalle College, into the DEC program. The DEC is a diploma, the diploma, after which a student can decide to go to university or not, okay? So some students start in language school. And according to what Do-Ann told me, you said that some students are already in the language school, right? That belongs to LaSalle College. The name has been changed now. I forgot what it's called, but there's a different name. So if the student starts in the language school, now this is my recommendation. Students are very much in a hurry to get into the college. Some students do not take enough levels. The language school has 10 levels. We have students taking the placement test, level 3, level 4, level 5. Unless they're really strong, they have to go back to language school. The students who do well and who get into the college are those who do the higher levels of language school, level 8, 9, and 10. These students do well and they pass their courses because they have their basics. You have to have your basic English to study college courses. Once you get into LaSalle College courses, they are literature courses, right? And they are the same material as are used in any other cégep in Quebec, any other college. They are college level materials. If you don't understand them or you don't have enough basics, how can you master the courses? How can you pass? You must have your basics, okay? So that's very important to stress, okay? So the first pathway is if we feel that the student is advanced enough, has the basics, the student will go into immersion. Immersion is a 12-hour course. This is for students who still make many language mistakes, perhaps 3 and 4 in a sentence, okay? Then after the immersion, the student will go into remedial activities. This is a 6-hour course. Now in immersion, they really focus on writing correctly, sentence structure, grammar, writing a 5-paragraph essay correctly, but it's topic essays. When you get into remedial activities, it's always still polishing the level and the quality of the language, but we start doing analytical writing. So you are given text, you are given stories, and there's a huge difference between the kind of essays that are written in immersion, which are topics, and the remedial activities, which are analysis of the text, okay? After that, if you pass remedial activities, you go into 603-101 plus 001. 101 is all the cégeps in Montreal, in Quebec, have this introductory course. It's called Introduction to College English. This is a higher level literature course in which the students have to write 750-word analysis, okay? But the other part, the 001, is the student is still making quite a few mistakes. So this gives you a chance to polish the language as well as more time to develop the idea to write an essay.
So, just a short question.
Yes.
So it means that the student will have to take 2 courses at the same time at that level?
Well, it's actually one course given by one teacher, but it has 2 parts.
Oh.
It has a literature part and it also has a language part.
Oh, yeah.
But it's one course given by one teacher. Okay? 8 hours. The next one is 603 KLY. This course was developed especially for international students who are facing an exit exam. The exit exam is the exit from college. All students in Quebec have to take an exit exam to show that they have mastered the competencies that they have to learn in college. Okay? And we found that our international students a long time ago, when this was introduced, were not doing well. So we thought rather than an English KL4, a last English course, we need to help the international students to prepare them better for the exit exam, because without passing the exit exam, they cannot get their diploma. They must pass it to get their diploma. Okay? And this exam, yeah, so it's KLY, that's first. And usually it's the same students who have taken 6 remedial activities or immersion or not 101 support, just immersion or English 002. If they start with those 2 courses, or even just one of them, they go into KLY. So this is preparation for the exit exam. Then they go into, they pass that, they go into English 102. 102 now, they're with the general population of the school. The local students have a different pathway. That's the pathway